ladies and gentlemen. Today you're going to continue to work on the identity charger activity. At this point, you should be done with the 2A identity charger practice document, but though it appears that 72 people have not turned that in yet. So be sure to get that submitted and completed as soon as possible, as we should be focusing on now the 2B identity charger final document. So let's take a look at this final document, and then we'll get working on today's activities. So the first question is to watch this video and use this presentation as a resource to complete the final draft of your identity charger design. There's a video here that also has a link to some examples of student artwork. So let's take a look at the expectations, and then we'll get to work on the activities for today. So for your drawing, you're going to be filling the page with pencil marks. You're going to draw big, make sure you have overlapping items, and make sure that they are extending off the page. So notice how these objects, again, are large, they're extending off the page, and they're overlapping each other. Next, you're going to outline all of your pencil marks with a thin black marker, and then erase unnecessary pencil marks that don't have any need or necessity. Next, you're going to add color to your project. Use marker or colored pencils. It's really up to you. Here's an example of marker when you're filling in the objects in the foreground, and you might consider testing the colors on the back of the horse, as they might look a little bit differently on cardboard than white paper. Then finally, you're going to fill in the background with some type of pattern, texture, or color. Colored pencil usually works great. You definitely could use marker as well if you want, but really just try to contrast the foreground with the images in the background. Now, what I'd like to show you right now is, again, the example of my final charger. My final charger does utilize pencil marks initially, but then goes into adding outline in thin black marker. Then I go back and erase unnecessary pencil marks. Now, what I want you to watch on my version here is how I add color to everything. I add color to all the objects in the foreground, all the areas in the background. I'm adding a variety of different colors on top, like variety of blues here. I did a variety of greens and yellows in the corn. I'm doing a variety of greens and blues in the mountains, a variety of browns and yellows in the football. And the sky, I'm trying to do an ombre where things go from dark to light. So notice how the entire background is filled in as well. This is very critical in your design. I noticed a few people already submitted their work and they did not have that background filled in. So if you're one of those people, make sure you do that before submitting your work. When you are done with your work, you are going to be answering questions 2, 3, and 4, these reflection questions. You need to answer these with multiple sentences, complete thoughts, and complete ideas. They are not one-word responses. This is worth points, and you will lose points if you don't have correct spelling, grammar, and capitalization, as well as complete thoughts in those complete sentences. So write more than you think and really clearly express your idea for your challenge. So please keep that in mind as you're working on your activity. Here's an example of some really high quality reflection questions. Notice how they explain what they drew. Notice how they explain what each symbol represents that they drew. And notice how they explain in detail all the different art making steps. So these are really good examples of what I'm looking for. And then they say what grade they think they deserve and why they did that. So think about honestly how you can reflect with those questions here. So today your goal is to work on your final charger, complete all the steps in the videos and presentations, and then if you get to this step, you can start working on the reflection questions. Work hard, have fun, and be creative.